Hi guys, how are you all doing? Welcome back to another Championship video. Now today we're going to be talking about Rotherham United and the fact that they've had further games postponed in the Championship. We're going to be talking about how that affects the Championship table, and we're also going to be talking about things I've seen online, people saying they should be deducted points or docked points this season. Now first of all, let's start with why they're having games called off. It's because of COVID, okay? I understand. A lot of games have been called off this season because of COVID, but Rotherham United have had their fair share more than any other Championship team. If you look at the Championship table now, they have currently played the least games out of any Championship team, and they've now had further games postponed. They had their game against Brentford called off, they've had their game against Luton this midweek called off, they've had their game against Coventry, my team, at the weekend called off, and it's actually getting a bit out of hand, isn't it? Now let's be fair, a few weeks ago everyone was having games called off because of COVID. Everyone missed out on some fixtures at some point in January and February. But the really weird thing is, it's just Rotherham United in the Championship right now that are calling off their games due to COVID. And I've seen a lot of people say online that they're not controlling their players or their staff, and that's why it's breaking out and they're all catching it and testing positive. It's a tricky one, isn't it? I suppose you could say they're not controlling their players, and there is something really going wrong at Rotherham. And I don't know how you can control that. Now let's talk about why this might help or hinder Rotherham United's season. Well, the reasons for hindering it is they're going to have a thick fixture backlog to catch up on through April and May. They're going to be playing 2 games a week, maybe even 3, depending on how many games they get called off now. And there's going to be a lot of catching up to do. So that means lots of injuries, lots of fatigue, not great fitness. They're going to really struggle to fit all these games in. Now, how does it help their season? Well, I suppose it means when they're catching up on their fixtures, they know what they need to do in those games. Coventry, Birmingham, Sheffield Wednesday will have all played our games. Rotherham having them in hand, they'll know what they need to do in those games. Now, if you haven't already seen my last video on the Championship table predictions, then go check that out. It's a great video. And I actually placed Rotherham to finish above the bottom 3. I think they will get out of this. But that was before they've had more games called off due to COVID. And now I'm really unsure about Rotherham United. I really don't know what to say. I still think they can get out of it. I still think they've got the players, the squad, the togetherness, the battling nature to get out of this. But having loads of games at once, is it going to affect them? I think it might. And obviously if there's a deduction, then it really will hit them hard. Do I think there's going to be a deduction? Probably not, but if the COVID cases continue and they keep postponing games, then the EFL will have to intervene in some way to make it stop. Now, why is this a problem for the Championship? Well, there's always games in hand. You know, you'll always see that in a Championship table. Some teams might be 1 or 2 games in hand, some teams might be 1 or 2 games ahead. But seeing a team with about 4 or 5 games behind really makes things unbalanced, especially when it's a key team down the bottom end or the top end of the division. And this really makes things tricky for all the other teams. Now, obviously, Coventry, we're not playing this weekend because we were meant to play Rotherham, but teams like Birmingham, Sheffield Wednesday, Huddersfield, Derby, they're all going to be unsure about how they feel looking at the table after this weekend's results. Right, finally, do I think this should happen, and would it be fair? Well, I don't think it should happen, not now anyway, and no, it definitely wouldn't be fair, especially on their fans. Rotherham United's fans have had to be patient putting up with this, but there's something really going wrong. Like I said, we can't put our finger on it. Maybe their players are breaking the rules and the EFL will have to intervene, but I feel like the EFL will just give them a bit more time. But if things continue to get worse, then who knows, something might have to happen, and it really would affect the bottom end of the table. Cheers for watching this video, guys. Hopefully this does get resolved soon, because no one wants to see another team get points deduction. I suppose it would benefit Coventry, but still, it wouldn't be nice for Rotherham United, would it? Let's hope this does get resolved. It will be better for football. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. We're so close to hitting 2,000 subscribers, and we'll see you all in the next video. Peace out.